Okay, what is up? Okay, so I didn't give anybody a set time as to when I was going to start this story time. I just told you guys that it will be today. And hopefully you guys are not too busy to tune in. And if you are busy, then you'll catch it on a replay. So I'm gonna do a mukbang. My fries already are kind of cold because I had to come in, get the kids together. I didn't plan on having multiple children. My mom, she done sprung some babysitting duties on me that I did not anticipate, but it's all good. Anyways, but I'm gonna get this going. I wanted to start off my story time a little bit spicy, but being that there are kids here, my child and you know what I'm saying, and all that, I'm gonna go with a more mild story, okay? And before I get started, and hey, Tamiko in the chat, before I get started, I'm going to share my live on my other page because I did not notify you guys on exactly when I would be doing this. So let me share it and then we'll get into the story. Okay, copy the link. Okay, go to my community tab. I'm gonna have it better organized next time, but y'all, my day did not go how I expected my day to go. Anyways, okay. All right. Okay, so today I am going to be eating Jack in the Box. They have these new spicy chicken tenders, and I always like to get them well done. And on top of them already being spicy, I like to eat them with Jack in the Box red hot dipping sauce. Normally when you do mukbangs, you're supposed to be able to like see the food, but it's just not gonna work. So the next time that I do this mukbang, I'm gonna figure out how to film it so that y'all can see it. But right now, it is what it is. So the first story time, so I guess I'll be sharing two stories because the first story is kind of like not that big grandiose of a story. And then I'll be sharing another story. So today we're going to be talking about embarrassing dates embarrassing dates with like industry guys or whatever. So as you guys know, and I've talked about this several times, I used to do music videos. So I used to, be in the circles of, rappers, singers, artists, producers, directors, all kind of industry people or whatever, like producers of TV shows. I used to be like in those, in those arenas or whatever. And so, when you're in those kind of circles, you kind of tend to date who's in those circles as well. So two of these stories will be revolved around men in the industry. One's a singer and one is a rapper or whatever. I'm not going to name drop or whatever, but whatever, we gonna get through it. Anyway, so I guess I'll start eating. So the first story that I'm gonna share with you guys is like, I was getting ready, right? So this guy, he hit me up. He's in the industry, very popular and everything, and he tells me that he wanted me to be his Valentine. And then so I'm like, he playing. He don't really want me to be his Valentine because, he's popping at the time. And I'm like, I'm popping, but I was like, I don't got no name to me or whatever. I'm just, just myself. You know what I'm saying? Which is enough. It's enough. But anyway, so he tells me he wanted me to be his Valentine. So I didn't take him serious. I procrastinated. I didn't get dressed right away. I was like letting the day go by because he wanted to meet up. I guess around like 9 or whatever. And so I was just like, I'm not getting dressed. So all day, because I thought he was going to flake or whatever. I just didn't take him serious. I'm like, yeah, right. So I'm getting my day, like just dragging along, my hair not done, my makeup not done, nothing. So then he hits me up around, I want to say like 7 o'clock that evening, because I had talked to him earlier in the day, and then he had hit me up around 7 o'clock that evening. And then he's like, okay, like, what time are you leaving? Because I live an hour away from Los Angeles. So it takes me an hour to get there. And he wanted me to be there, around 9 or whatever. So he's like trying to see like if I'm about to be leaving and everything like that. So he hits me up. I'm like, oh, you was serious? You was for real? So I rushed to get ready because I just knew, like, I don't know why, I just knew that he was going to play. So I'm rushing to get ready or whatever. So I'm trying to do my hair, my weave ain't done, nothing. So I'm trying to put my hair together, trying to find an outfit, all of this stuff that I did not get together because I did not think that he was going to go through with the date. So I think he had reservations at like 9 or something. So I was like rushing. I was like really, really rushing. So I go and I do my hair. So I do my hair and I throw on an outfit. So I throw on this outfit and then I just get in the car. And I take my makeup bag in the car with me. And so I don't do no makeup, nothing to my face is done at all. And so I'm like, I'm just going to do my makeup while I'm driving there or whatever. And then, or when I get closer to the location. So I start getting closer to the location. I'm trying to like drive and do my makeup, which is dangerous. I don't advise it. Okay. But, I'm driving and doing my makeup at the same time. And so he hits me up and I was getting close to exit. So he hits me up and he's like, are you close? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be exiting in like 5 minutes. So, but I didn't tell him that I was exiting. I said, I'll be exiting in 5 minutes. And normally when I say that I'm going to be exiting in 5 minutes, I don't really be telling the truth all the time. Like sometimes I'll say, oh, I'll be exiting in 5 minutes. And I really be like 20 minutes away, which is bad. But, it'd be like that sometimes. But this time I actually was 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, I'll be exiting in 5 minutes or whatever. So, I pulled in. And he had a hotel at the SLS or whatever, and they had a restaurant at the bottom, and we were going to eat at the restaurant at the SLS hotel. For those of you guys who are not familiar with LA, the SLS is in Beverly Hills, and it is one of the like really popular, like really fancy, really like upscale kind of hotels. And so he was staying there, but he was coming down because we were going to the restaurant. And so I pull in and I'm like, okay, I didn't tell him to come down yet. I didn't tell him that I exited yet. So I'm about to just pull in and do my makeup and wait for him to call me. And then when he calls me, I'm going to act like I just been sitting here waiting for him to come down. Like I already had it plotted in my mind what I was going to say, the reason why, it took me longer. Or whatever. I don't know why us girls be making excuses. We just be making excuses sometimes, but it is what it is. But anyway, so I already had a plan in my mind what I was gonna say. I was like, when he called me and wonder like why I haven't called him, I'm gonna be like, I was waiting on you to come down because the restaurant is right here. So I pull over and then the valet wants to know if I'm supposed to be eating. See, I always forget the eating part. So I pull over, right? And I tell the valet, I'm like, I'm gonna pull to the side and start doing my makeup. So I'm pulling to the side and I'm doing my makeup. I'm doing my makeup, but I'm doing like a rush job to it or whatever. I'm doing my makeup. I start putting on my eyelash because I'm like, shit, he ain't called me, so I'm going to continue to do stuff. I'm going to continue, perfecting my makeup to make sure that I look good. So, so I was like, okay, let me, so I get done or whatever. So I get done, I do my eyelash or whatever. And the whole time while I'm doing my makeup, I'm peeking to see if he actually would like come down at the same time. Like, I didn't tell him to come down, but if he come down, I want to see if he came down as well. So I'm doing my makeup and I'm peeking to see if he come down, and I'm doing my makeup, looking in the mirror, peeking, at the same time. So I get done with my makeup, and when I get done with my makeup, I'm like, let me hurry up and get out the car and, call him. As soon as I got out of the car, I walked like 2 steps, and he was standing right there watching me the whole time do my makeup and was just busting up laughing and thought that it was the most hilarious thing ever. And that mess was so embarrassing to me. It's probably like, y'all probably like, well, that probably ain't that embarrassing. But to me, it's embarrassing because like I'm over here, I'm thinking like I'm sneaking, I'm doing my makeup, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a cut, like, And so as soon as I get out of the car by thinking I'm over here, doing my makeup, he ain't got no clue what's going on. None of that. As soon as I get out of the car, I walk literally 2 steps, and this mug was standing right there the whole time watching me. And so I'm like, wait, how long have you been standing right here watching me or whatever? And then he was like, I came down. You said you was going to be, here in like 5 minutes. So I immediately came down. Like he said, I seen you pull in. I seen you go around. I seen you go to the side. I seen you start doing your makeup. And I just, I felt so embarrassed because I really thought like I was like sneaking, like I really thought that I was sneaking and, saying I was low and I was doing my makeup and stuff. So that's like the first embarrassing story. And the next time that I do this, I'm going to pre-record it so like I'm not so like, What? Somebody said, you feel right. Mina says, I feel you. I feel the same way. I hate when people do that. Announce yourself, darn it. Right. He didn't call me. He didn't tell me he came down. Nothing. He's literally just sitting there waiting for me to stand there. To get out. And so when I get out the car, we go into the restaurant or whatever. And the whole time, I'm just thinking like, oh my. I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. So that was like one of my embarrassing like days or whatever. And that's one that, is safe for me to tell, even if there's listening ears. The other embarrassing date also happened at the SLS. The SLS is like one of the hot spots that a lot of rappers stay at because it is like a 5-star hotel. And so a lot of people with like a lot of money, they stay there. So my next my next embarrassing moment happened at the SLS again, but this was with a different person. Like it was like years in between these 2 instances happening or whatever. But right, he didn't give me no heads up. He didn't give me nothing. He told me nothing. I'm sitting here just like, man, embarrassed. It was embarrassing. But I had a good night. It was a good night. We went out on a town after we ate at the restaurant. We went out on a town. Then we went to the strip club. And then what else did we do? Like we was like riding around. Like it was like a really good night. But the start of it was embarrassing. But the end of it was amazing. Okay. Black Ice and Tamiko always be having these side conversations, boy. I never am up to date on what they be talking about. Okay, so the next embarrassing story, because I'm gonna just give 2 embarrassing stories, and then I'll chat with you guys, and then I'll let you guys call in or whatever. So the next embarrassing story was with a rapper. So I was at a mansion party, and these stories are gonna get juicy, but like I said, for those of you who tuned in, my daughter is here, so I can't really go, that deep. But you said you just got here. I'm horrible at mukbangs. Well, if you just got here, I'm eating these spicy. Let me try to get a thumbnail. I'm eating these spicy, what you call it? Okay, so the second embarrassing like date or whatever. So I'm at a mansion party, and I used to go to these parties a lot. And at these mansion parties, there's a mixture of people in the industry. And this was like an industry party. So like everybody who's like in the industry, like rappers, singers, producers, like models, video girls, like are at this party. So I'm at an industry party, and I meet this guy. Prior to me meeting him, I didn't know what he did. I didn't know nothing. Like I had never seen him before, you know? And so like I had never seen him before. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know that he was a rapper. I didn't know anything. So my friend was talking to she was talking to somebody, and he was standing next to him, and then he just looked at me in my face, and then he was like, damn, like you're really beautiful or whatever. And then I was just looking like, thank you, And so he told me like he was in town for, I think it was probably BT weekend. It was a lot. I've been going to BT weekend events for a very long time. I think that he told me it was BT weekend, and I think he told me. I think it was BT weekend, correction. Not he told me, because I knew what the hell weekend was. My name was BT weekend, and he told me he was in town for BT weekend or whatever. And so he told me he was from Louisiana. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You come out to LA a lot. He was like, yeah, I be out here all the time, blah, 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 blah. He told me his name, but I didn't know who he was still. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we had started talking. I don't know. I don't even think that he told me he was a rapper right away. And so we have been talking for like 3 months or something like that. So like I'm talking to him on the phone. He had came BT weekend. He ended up leaving. We was, continuing to talk, and I would talk to him often. But I don't know how, like, I don't know what I thought he did, but I did not think that it was a rapper or whatever. And so we're talking, and then one day he tells me that he wants me to be his date to the Young Money tour. And what was it? The Young Money, what was it? It was the Lil Wayne Young Money tour. I think that's the name of the tour. Because it was the first tour when he got like Drake and all the whole team together. And it was like, Drake, Nicki Minaj, he had Chanel, Lil Chucky, and there was a whole bunch of other. Lil Chucky's definitely too young for me. Lil Twist, Lil Chucky, they too young for me. But it was a whole bunch of other people that was a part of, Young Money, and they were all on this tour. And so he told me that he wanted me to be his date to tour. And so I'm just like, okay, I guess. And then he was like, Wayne is my brother. And I was like, Wayne is not your brother. Like, shut the hell up, So at that moment, I'm looking it up. I'm like, wait, he is a part of Young Money. Like, what the heck? Like, I never even, knew. But this was in the beginning, like when Young Money had just formed and they had just like went on tour. I didn't know who all the rappers of Young Money was and stuff like that. And so he told me he wanted me to be his date to the tour or whatever. He told me what day it was. And so I was just like, okay, that's fine. I don't care, So he told me that he was going to be staying at the SLS. So all of them was staying at the SLS, and he wanted me to meet him at the SLS because they were going to take the tour bus to the concert, and that's how they were going to get to the show. And so I'm just like, okay, cool with me. At the time that this happened, I was driving the most beat up car. This is my early 20s, and I got no shame if I gave it. Is what it is. My car was busted. Okay. But I was still mixing and mingling in them circles or whatever, because the SLS is it's a 5-star hotel. So it's like a really big it's a really big, establishment. It's a really fancy hotel, I should say. So, anyways, so I'm just like, okay, he told me he wanted me to meet him at the SLS. So I'm like, cool. So it's the same thing. He telling me, like, I tell him, like, oh, I'm going to be around at such and such time, approximately that time. But I knew that I was driving a bucket. So my plan was to park first, and then I was going to tell him to come down. Because I'm like, I'm going to valet this bucket. And then once I valet, then I'm going to tell him, come down and meet me or whatever. It didn't go like that. So he asking me like approximately, how long, I'm gonna be there and stuff. And I tell him the approximate time that's gonna take for me to get there. I told him when I was getting closer and everything, right? So I'm driving there. I pull in to the damn hotel, and the whole fucking Young Money is standing right out front. All of them standing. Well, minus Drake and Lil Wayne wasn't standing in front, but all of them was standing out front. And when I pulled in my bucket, I'm telling you, I had a bucket, okay? My bucket, it had like in the front, like the paint was kind of like rusted off that car. It got me to where I needed to go. It got me to music video auditions. It got me to my job. It got me to LA and back. It got me everywhere I needed to go, but it was a bucket, okay? I pull in this hotel. The whole Young Money is standing outside, and my heart just dropped. Like, my whole plan was to park the car, valet, and then tell him to come outside. So I'm like, what? And so, like I said, he spotted me, and I'm like, oh my God, please don't come to my car. Please don't come up to my car. Like, I'm just about to try to play it off. I don't know what I was going. I don't know what the fuck. But all I knew is I didn't want him to come up to my car. Like, what the heck? Like, man. So I'm parking. The valet guy is coming up to my car, and here he comes right up to my car to get my bag, like, and open up the door, like, hey. And I'm like, that mess was the most embarrassing thing ever, bro. Like, I was like, so then he gets me, right? So I get my bag out the car, he gets me, whatever. And then so I'm walking up and I'm like, oh my God. So then he gets my hand or whatever. And to him, he don't give a fuck. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not an ugly girl. Like, I'm a pretty girl or whatever. So I guess he didn't care. But for me, I was just like, oh my God. Like, So he gets my hand or whatever. The valet cop, he gives me the ticket to valet my car. And he walks me over to Young Money because they're all outside. And I'm like, what the is y'all doing outside? Like, why are y'all out here? So then he walks me up to them, and then he starts introducing me to everybody. And I just was literally just like, oh my God. So that was my second embarrassing moment or whatever that I wanted to share with y'all, my embarrassing story time. The stories are definitely going to get juicy. I'm going to have some really juicy stuff for y'all. But I just wanted to share that because it's safe to, talk about, even if there's listening ears or whatever. But I definitely got some stories, you guys. Like I said, I've been doing like industry stuff since like 2008, 2009. I definitely, I'm going to try to get some girls that was around at the time who like experienced some of the same things, because like, you know, we would go to these parties, stuff would be going on. I'm not gonna be like name dropping like that. Like sometimes I'll say a name here and there if it's not somebody that I directly like dated or like, you know, been involved with. I don't want to like, you know, go there or do that. But I'm gonna get some of my friends to also kind of like join in on like story times or whatever. And my friend, I think she's gonna come Wednesday, but that was my story time. I got encounters, and it's not just industry stuff. It's just like, you know, I even probably do story time from like high school. Like when I got out of high school, I'm gonna do story times, like current story times. I'm gonna just do all kind of different story times. So I definitely want you guys to, you know, be tuned in. But for now, I'll just, you know, talk to you guys. I'll open up the phone lines for those of you guys if you want to call in, because I wanted to stay on for about an hour-ish. I thought it would take me longer to tell the story because I would be eating, but I'm bad at mukbangs. I'm bad at mukbangs. Wow. I'm seriously bad at it. I'm not good. So I'm gonna open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in. If not, if nobody wants to call in, then I'll wrap up the story time. Okay, so the call-in number, if anybody wants to call in, is 605 468 8756. And what I could do is you guys can share. So I just gave 2 examples of embarrassing dates. If you guys have an embarrassing story that you want to share, I definitely want to encourage you guys to. Why you not calling in, Tamika? What you scared of? I definitely want to encourage you guys to call in. I want to hear some of your stories, or even if you want to just talk about the story that I just told, you can do that as well. But I prefer you guys to share. I shared, and I want you guys to share. So the call-in number is 605-468-8756, and the access code is 284538. The number is in the chat for anybody who wants to call in. But yeah, so those is my. So what do you guys think about story times? You say you talk too much. That's okay. What do you guys think about story times? Do you want to hear more story times? Like, what do you guys? I'm kind of rushed through those stories, but you said they were good. Okay. Don't be scared to call in. I want to hear one of you guys' embarrassing moments. You said you like story times, do more? Okay. I'm gonna try to get my friend to do. We supposed to do it on Wednesday, so we'll see. But it's another story time that has to do with somebody in the industry, and it's like 2 stories with the same artist again. But this story, neither one of us dated him, so we'll probably be able to say the name in that one. When somebody call in though, my little spicy. I need to open up another. No, actually eat the I like to dip the barbecue sauce for my fries. I like the buffalo sauce for the the chicken breast, and then I like the barbecue sauce for my fries. Oh shit. My food is from Jack in the Box. So I'm eating Jack in the Box. I haven't even put a dent. I have not even put a dent in these chicken breasts. It's like a hair. But if nobody wants to call in, then I'll just wrap it up. But I wanted to give you guys a chance to, you know, share one of your stories or whatever. Maybe I can. I probably should promote it next time. But my schedule will be all over the place. And I can never like pinpoint, hey, I can never pinpoint like exactly. You like the moon cup, Andrea? I got it from Amazon, but the ones on Amazon are kind of pricey, I think. I'm gonna try to get them from the distributor if I can. And I'm gonna probably put these on my website. I have a website, which is neekatnight.com, but I never promote it because it's just like the feed basically from my Instagram that goes onto the website. But when I get these cups, I'm going to put them on my website. I contacted a couple distributors who distributes these. There's even one that, you know, I could put my Neek at Night on there. So once I find the right distributor, because there's a few of them who have these come in this rainbow color, and then they also have them in gold. So once I get the right, you know, distributor, because it's a few of them, then I'll have them on my website. Yeah, I want to put my logo on it. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll be cute and cool. And then do a couple t-shirts for my merch. So I'm trying to get that together. But well, that's all. I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch me eat the rest of these chicken tenders. So I'll wrap it up because I really don't have anything else to talk about in relation to those two story times. I said that I would start. Yeah, I have a website. I've been having neekatnight.com for about, it's going on 2 years now, but it's just pretty much it's a feed on the website. Here, I'll type it in here. www. The only time I use this website really is when I submit for red carpets and stuff like that. I give them my website just so that they could have like the more, you know, professional look when I submit myself for stuff. You said do tell another story, please. Well, I don't want to cram all of them in one day. Like I kind of want to spread it out throughout the summer. So I don't want to cram like all the story times in one day. I'll be here all day reminiscing on different stuff that happened. But that's my website. You said Jason Lee blocked him for call. Wait, what? What happened? Ooh. You said he blocked you for calling him out in colorism? He didn't like that too much. He wasn't feeling that. What'd you say to him? What'd you say to him? I don't know why I keep grabbing this cup. He had a photo of 5 girls, all biracial. And what happened? I'm talking with food in my mouth because I'm grown, okay? Dominique. That's my friend in real life, y'all. Didn't okay, so he had the girl, the photo of the 5 girls, and they were all biracial, but the 5 girls doing what? I don't know. I probably have to have more context to understand what you're trying to say. I don't really get it. Kevin Nathan, you said I remind you of Lovely T. I've heard that before. Somebody said if he's biracial, that's not colorism. I don't know the 5 girls. She just said that it was a 5 girl. He had a photo of 5 girls and they were all biracial, but I don't know the context of like. I don't know. I would need more context. Yeah, I probably have to. I probably would have to see the post or see like what did it say. I don't know like what. 5 biracial girls in a photo doesn't really provide much context, honestly. I would have to have more context to know what you're trying to say. Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm mad that my food is cold. But yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm just oh Lord, it's really time to go. It's really time to go. I really do not think that I look like Bobby Christina. Like I don't think that I look like her at all. I just don't think I look like her. Like I have a gap. I am the same skin tone as her. She is a pretty girl. And I don't see how we look alike. I swear to you, all of my life living until I started to do YouTube again. And I started back doing YouTube in 2017. I started in 2008. I started back in 2017. I did not hear the first time You Look Like Bobby Christina until 2018, the first time in my life. Like, and I think at that point, what was I, 31? Never, ever, ever have I ever heard that before. Since 2018, there are people who will say it in the chat, like, oh, you look like Bobby Christina. You look like Bobby Christina. But I swear to you, my whole entire life of living, I've never, ever heard that. Like, anybody who see me in person, never ever heard that ever, like until I got on YouTube. So me personally, I think that she is a beautiful girl, and we do have a gap similar. We do have skin tone similar. I just don't think that we look alike. I just don't think that we look alike. But yeah. So that's all. I still got these. I'm a horrible mukbanger. This is supposed to be a mukbang where I eat food, tell a story, you know, you can see the food that I'm eating and all that, but I am I'm horrible at mukbanging. Like every single time that I try to do a mukbang, I'm just like, this is another fail. But I'm gonna still keep doing them. I don't care. I don't care. And then people be getting mad too, like, you just need to tell the story, or you should, like, no, I'm getting in with the crowd. Shit, everybody started to do these damn mukbangs. I'm about to, and I'm tired of these fireworks, but I'm about to do the mukbangs too. I don't care if I suck. I don't care. I don't care if I don't finish my food. I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. I don't like the way my boobs look right there. Anyways, Keith said that's right. Yeah, I'm still gonna do it. Right, get in where you fit in. You feel me? I'm still, I don't care. But no, like my next story time is going to be, you know, I'm gonna probably pre-record it so that like I'm not like pressured to tell the story. I could kind of, you know, relax and don't worry about, you know, I don't know, whatever, you know. So yeah, people say that. A lot of people, Keith said, I think because your teeth, yeah, I think so. You said promote it. Yeah, I do. Okay, so the hard thing about promoting is I don't always feel like being in front of the camera. So like some days I'm like, man, I'm about to do my makeup and I'm about to, you know, get in front of the camera and record some videos. And then some days I don't. You said I can relax on live too. I don't know. It just be pressure because I'll be forgetting stuff sometimes. Like when I'm telling stories and then like I'll repeat stuff over and over. So I want to be able to like make sure that I'm not like repeating myself, make sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't slip and say something that I shouldn't say. I don't want to slip and say a name. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to do these story times because I have a story time that I'm going to share. Okay. I don't know if this will be my next story time because my next story time, I want my friend to do it with me and I want her to talk about this one incident that happened. But one of my story times, I was dating this guy and I found out that a guy had DM'd him in a sexual manner. And, you know, I want to tell that story, but I don't want to slip up and, you know, say a name by accident because I don't want to like out him, but I want to tell the story. I want to tell how it happened, what I went through, you know what I'm saying? I want to tell juicy story times, but I don't want to slip. And I feel like sometimes, like if I, you know, get too comfortable and too laxed on live, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to slip and do none of that. So I feel like I got to pre-record it. But yeah, yes, I was dating a guy. Right. You said, well, I want to hear about that. Right. So I wanted to start off light. You know what I'm saying, tonight, because I didn't really promote it. I told you guys that I would be doing story times. So I didn't want to come with the juiciest stuff right away because I knew that, you know, it was a hit or miss on who's going to be watching and things like that. And that time, you know, maybe I will promote it, but no. This guy wasn't an industry guy. That guy that I'm talking about that had a guy DM him, all of it is not industry guys. So like I said, it's not going to be all industry guys. Today's story time was industry guy. And then I want to get my friend to help me tell a story because she was there and she was part of it. You know what I'm saying? Her to tell the story. And then after that, it's going to be just like, you know, encounters, guys that I dated, just stuff that happened, like even my cousins, story times with them. You know what I'm saying? Us, like, you know, like getting into it with people, just all kind of story times from when I was in high school, maybe when I was younger, just all kind of stuff. And I'm going to have guests to help share and tell the story. But the ones that with it, me and who I date, and when I tell those stories, it's just going to be me. But yeah. if that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah, I was dating a guy, and yeah, a guy slid up in them DMs, and the responses from him wasn't the responses that I expected, and how did I find out? That's what I'm saying. You gotta wait for the story time on that one. I ain't gonna be able to. That one, it's some explicit details that go on with that story, like some explicit details, and you know, my daughter is she's still up. I'm not telling it tonight, Adrian, but I am gonna tell it. You said, is he bi? I don't know. Dominique, you know damn well I told you about this story because I was highly, highly disturbed. So, yes, you know what I'm talking about. My friend Dominique, I definitely vented to him about this story because I was definitely disturbed about this encounter. And it kind of has traumatized me, you know. I got stories of when, different, like, right. I got some stories now. I got some stories. So I want to start sharing. You said hella gay. Well, in his defense, he said that he's not. Said he's not gay. So it's gotta go with he. Oh shoot! It's gotta go with what he said. He said he wasn't. So. I'm not telling. I'm not telling y'all that story. Nah, that story is gonna be a time where I recorded in my. Thank you, Nikki. You said all that sexual chocolate, and he wanted. In his defense, he denied some allegations. And it's all good. Whoo-wee. Y'all funny. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this. You said you've been keeping all the good stories tucked in. Yeah. I got all kind of stories. Like I got stories of propositions, people making propositions like, oh, we want you to like, I got all kind of stories. I got all kind of stories, and I done shared a few with Dominique, so he think he know my life. I just told two stories. So if you missed two stories that I just told tonight, then you got to catch the replay. But I'm going to go, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And catch me on the next story time. I don't know what days I should designate because I want to have like a designated story time day. Like, should my Saturday night hangouts be like story times? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make my Saturday night hangouts be like story time days instead of just the hangout. And maybe I'll do that. What do you guys think about that? Or what days do you think that I should do it on? Thursdays or Saturdays? Okay. On the Saturday night hangout. And I'll tell you guys what the topic is going to be about. And then hopefully you guys are not shy to share your stories as well. So maybe I'll do a story time where I will pre-record a story. I'll play it on this channel. I'll premiere it so we'll all watch it together. And then I'll go live after that, like an after show, and then have you guys share your stories. Maybe we'll do it that way. That'll probably work out. We want to hear more, but good night and thanks for that live. Saturday is great. Yes. You say a time when Tamiko doesn't have a curfew, right? Tamiko, her husband be like, enough, get off, enough. So yes, sis definitely be having a curfew. We definitely got to figure out a time when she ain't got a curfew. You right. Because her husband be like, it's time to go. You need to get up off her live, and then it's time to go. You said my callers be clowning too much. No, man, we gotta be bro. Hey, if I'm gonna be bold and share my embarrassing moments, dating a guy and finding out those DMs, like all of this stuff, y'all could be sharing some stuff too. Don't be shy. Yes, y'all are 2 hours later than me, so I gotta figure out a time. So I'll work that out this week, but I wanted to kick it off today because I told you guys I will be doing it today, and then we'll work out the next day, and we'll work it out, and we'll get it going. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate y'all sharing my story time with me. Oh my God. And y'all know I be going live, and then I be making them on private. I was like, oh, my story time is meant to stay up. So, okay. But yeah, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And if you guys did not catch this video live with me and you have an embarrassing date that you went on, comment down below. Don't be scared like the people that's currently on live right now. If you're watching this and you catch it on a replay or whatever, I want to know what was your most embarrassing dating moment. Those were two of mine that I share with you guys here, but I want to know what your most embarrassing moment is. If you are not subscribed to this channel, this is where the story times will go down. So definitely subscribe to this channel because a lot of you guys are on my Nick at Night channel. Make sure you subscribe to this Nick LeClaire channel because this is where you'll get all the juicy story times and all of that. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post a video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, guys. Peace.